no
What do you get
countdown
at?
today.
No countdown. Just jump
I was
right
like
in.
adjusting my.
No foreplay here.
Oh, what?
We just get in.
And who are your viewers? Like, who is watching?
The
right
good,
now?
well, no one. No one actually watches the show. Yeah, that's the only
a
thing we
lie.
haven't figured out yet is how to
That's
get
a
people
lie.
watching. No, we have
got
people.
viewers.
It's on YouTube. We're building YouTube. It's
Okay,
new, so
okay.
there's more people listen to the audio part. But on shows like this, might be a
get
little
more
different.
YouTubes.
Normally the guests don't look as good as this. People are sick of looking at me, so they're like, rather listen to them than look at them.
It's true.
Yeah. So we have Amanda here with us today.
Hi.
Amanda Nicole.
Yes, Amanda Nicole.
I like it.
It's my first podcast, so be easy on me.
All right, we're gonna go easy on you.
Well,
The
listen.
Vegas
Okay.
Junkeez will go easy on you. Natalini does good podcasts.
I'm still waiting for my cocktail
newbies.
too. So.
Yeah, we're gonna
Oh,
get
yeah, we
the
have
drink is
cocktail
coming.
Oh, someone's
Yes,
calling me.
she has a
butt
she has
is
a sex on the
vibrating.
beach coming.
I
Yes.
know.
Yeah.
I haven't had that in so long.
Day drinking.
I haven't had sex, period, in so long.
Ooh.
So.
Whoa! Really? Now
Yeah,
you're
so at least I'm getting something right
Yeah.
now.
Well, there's a lot of cowboys in the
I know.
casino.
I know.
We just found out.
Maybe tonight.
Yeah, you
fabulous.
said it.
Yeah.
You said before we started. You said it gets your blood flowing. All the
I
cowboy
know.
hats.
I don't know why. I don't know. Texans just like me, and so that makes me like them.
Thanks, girl.
Well, they do everything big in Texas, and
Yes,
so that makes
and
sense.
I have big
Right.
eyes and big,
Right.
smile,
Eyelashes.
Right.
personality.
You know.
I don't know
Yeah.
why they like.
Where are you
me.
from?
I'm from the South, kind of, so that's probably why I like them too. I'm mainly from
Thank you.
Georgia.
Oh, so you're around the country folks.
Yeah.
Then.
Yeah, but I grew up kind of an army brat, so I moved all over and lived everywhere, basically.
Really?
Yeah, North Carolina, Missouri,
Where in Missouri?
Italy, Fort Leonard Wood.
Okay. I lived
And
in
then-
Branson, Missouri for a minute.
I have no idea where anything is.
Near
so
Springfield?
yeah, it was near Springfield where
Okay.
I lived. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Italy, Illinois,
Wow.
Georgia, Michigan is where I went to college, and then Cali, and now here.
Did you move during junior high and high school as well?
Yeah.
So that's probably tough back then,
Yeah.
right?
So I started high school in Georgia, and then right before my senior year, I moved to Michigan.
Oh my God, that had to be brutal.
It
You
was
just had a lot of
so-
acquaintances.
Did
'cause
you
it was so
cry?
hard
You
to-
definitely cried.
That one was hard. The other moves, not so much, but that one was hard because my parents moved my senior year to Michigan, to a small town where, the high school population was really small. So when I came in senior year, it was not, welcoming. And, I swear it was, a weird town where, everyone had, dated since, the 6th grade.
Oh yeah.
So, I was, this odd chick out coming to this school, and, girls hated me, and guys were, not allowed to talk to me.
Because it didn't look like the norm
No,
from
well-
a small town.
No, I still, I looked normal then, but, I was just new. So, when it's new,
Right.
fresh meat.
You were the new girl.
yeah, it's just, I wasn't as hot then.
And now, when you were in junior high and high school, was MySpace, was that, at least you could keep in touch with people, right?
Facebook.
Facebook,
MySpace had
okay.
already died.
MySpace had already gone?
It already
Okay.
died. I'm that young.
But at least you had Facebook. I mean,
To keep in
I know
touch.
this might be shocking, but I grew up in a time where if you moved 20 miles,
Right.
you lost your friends forever, pretty
Forever.
much, because there was no cell
So
phones.
you actually looked
and
forward to the high school reunions because
I've
you
never
can actually,
gone.
I still want to go.
My 30 year was last year.
You never gone to your 10,
That
20
hurts
or
to say, my 30-year reunion.
Social media makes it so your high school reunion is every day.
100%.
I get new followers all the time that went to high school with me, and they're like, I think I went to high school with you. I'm like, yeah, we did.
Now, were you hot in the high school years? So were you ugly duckling or something in between? Were you awkward? What were you?
I was shy. I kind of I probably didn't do my best to be cool. I was kind of sheltered, a good girl. So my parents were super strict. So I wasn't cool. I didn't and I just kind of hung out with whoever I liked. So I kind of hung out with everyone. But that kind of made me a weird kind of fit. I was just skinny, cute. I hit puberty super late, so I looked super innocent. And like I said, I was super innocent. So I don't know. I was just I don't know. Not ugly, not
a
ugly
late
duckling,
bloomer in a way.
like a late bloomer,
Yeah.
in the shadows, not really paid attention to, not really seen, I guess. So not bullied, not a dork, but not. not cool.
What were you like, Nat? Were you a late bloomer?
I was a late bloomer.
You were?
Yeah, late bloomer.
Yeah.
Were you
But
shy?
I wasn't shy. I was friends with every circle in high school. I was friends
You
with.
didn't discriminate.
Did not discriminate. I was an ASB. I was an MBA. I was.
I don't even know what
dance
ASB
team.
is. What is
It's
ASB?
Like a student body board. So you like help.
No wonder I don't know.
It's like
Yeah.
you help with all the school dances. You help with the programs. Like you're involved with the school. MBA. It was like the marketing. So we like had a little store.
Okay.
On campus. And we were in charge of, I was in charge of marketing, so I was in charge of all the posters around town, or on the school and stuff like that.
I wasn't
Yeah.
in that. What is it called again?
Which one? ASB?
ASB. Yeah,
Yeah.
I wasn't in ASB. I was in, what do they call it? I was in, detention.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what they call it.
I was
I was
a-
in detention.
I was a nerd. I did community service for fun, and
Wait, seriously?
I did
Wait,
community
have you seen the movie The
service.
Breakfast Club?
yeah.
Do you know that movie?
Yeah,
There's
I'm
a
that
scene-
guy.
There's
I'm
a scene
that guy.
there's a scene towards the end. That girl, Ali Sheedy, she's kind of like the little misfit.
Oh, yeah.
They say like, "What did you do to get into the detention?" And she goes, "Nothing. I had nothing better to do." Like that.
Oh,
that
that's
was you.
right.
Yeah, no, I did like community service for fun, like for my college resume. I took like every like college class I could in high school to like have credits and like do good. Like I was determined to be like president one day.
Really?
And I
Okay.
was like I'm gonna go to like the best school or one of the best schools. I was gonna be like a lawyer. I wanted to be president, and now I'm
So
I'm
how
famous
do you?
for twerking and
Yeah, so how did that happen? How did you go
Yeah,
from
good
that
question, good
to
question.
a bombshell on social media now with 1.2 million followers and recently got the blue check
I know,
mark?
I got the blue check mark. So like even though I was like a total like good girl and like innocent and like nerdy, I was always like a little freak inside probably.
Got it.
And I went to college, everything. I worked like a normal full-time job. I was married. I got
Okay.
married super young at like 20.
Wow.
Yeah. Married a guy in the Navy, so I was like a military spouse. And then no.
No kids. Okay.
And then when that ended, I was just horny. So like,
I
I'm not
love
gonna
the
lie.
realness. She's
I
just
was
putting it
just-
out there.
Hence the sex on the beach.
We don't even
Yeah.
have to pride her with anything.
There
She's
you go.
just
I
voluntarily.
was just trying to
Yeah.
get laid, so like I made an Instagram, I bought some titties. I was being a little thoughty because I was on the rebound out of like being married young, and so I was just being a thought for like free, like not really thinking it was gonna be like
way of,
turn into
a
a
career,
career.
you know?
I was just trying to get my Tinder popping, like so I was just trying to get some.
Got it.
But
So we have your divorce to thank for this.
my ex-husband, if he saw this, would die. But
So now Tinder's popping, the titties are popping.
I like
It's all popping.
I lost like 60 pounds.
Oh, wow.
I was chunky. I was
Really?
like thick, like thicker than a Snicker. Like if you see pictures, you'd be like, "That's not you," and I'm like, "Yeah, it's me. I just look like I ate me." Like, but
Those of you listening to this on audio on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, I highly encourage you to go to YouTube right now
Yes.
and watch the show.
Yes.
Stop just listening to this
Stop what
and
you're
go over to
doing.
YouTube and watch the show. You're blowing it. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Sorry. Yeah.
Too funny.
Okay.
But so yeah, that's how it kind of started, and then
When did you get on Instagram?
that was like 3 years ago.
Wow. And that's a short amount of time to get to 1 million
No,
people
that's what happens when you're out there on Tinder.
when you're thotting around.
I'm just kidding.
And-
No, it started as like I was just trying to have like good selfies, good pictures. I was just getting hot to like date, and then photographers. I lived in California near LA, and then photographers would find my page and they would be like, "Yo, I want to shoot you." Because of your titties. and so I started doing photo shoots on my days off because I still worked a normal job.
What was the normal job?
I worked in like real estate.
Really?
Like, I don't even want to say anything
Okay.
about it because my coworkers still hate me. Like, but
Don't hate, appreciate.
yeah.
They
Why
hate
do
me.
you
They
hate?
got so jealous. Oh my god! Because
You were successful.
I started doing the modeling and like doing pretty good, and then I like was making more money like doing shoots on my 2 days off than going to work all week, and so then I kind of probably got lazy too.
So you probably work smarter, not harder.
Yeah,
And
then and I just got hotter, and like it was sales, so like I was leasing and selling more.
You're making those connections, girl.
I was selling a lot to some dudes, like, so I ended up like doing shoots all the time, and like it started being like a really cool hobby. I started to like it. I was like, it just made me feel good. It made me feel like creative, like I was doing something. It gave me more motivation to like get more in shape, to like get more into the makeup and like in fashion. It was just like, it was creating like this whole new thing that I was like getting into. Eventually, like so many people wanted to shoot with me that like I was like, yo, I have a job, like I only have 2 days off, and they're like, oh, well, I'll pay you to shoot, like so I can like get to shoot with you like earlier. And I was like, okay, cool. And then I was making more, like I said, on my 2 days off from work, just doing photo shoots, and I was like, and then my coworkers were being bitches, and I was like, fuck that. I was like, I'm out of here. One day my boss just pissed me off. They were like bullying me because of the way I looked, because I had like brand new boobs and everything, and so they.
Can we sue them too while we're at it? Let's sue them.
I feel like I should
Let's
sue
get
them
a little
for sexual
hashtag
harassment.
Me Too
Yeah.
cooking.
They pulled me into like this office one day, and they were like, hey, so like you've been like leasing to like a lot of guys, like what are you doing on these tours, like lease them? And I was like,
no way.
They were accusing you of fake.
Wait, seriously, I think we need to sue.
yeah, and I was like,
I got a guy for you.
What?
I got the lawyer for you.
I was like, I smiled and like was nice. I'm like, I don't know, like, and I was like, you know what, fuck this. I was so mad. I like left that day. I quit. I was like, I was done.
Keith Davidson, I'm gonna intro
That
you
is
to Amanda, and I want commission Keith Davidson. This is on the record, okay? We have a suit
it was
here.
so long ago.
Commission by association.
Yeah,
here, okay?
100%. Yeah.
It was so long ago, but
Can I make a little cheddar on that deal? You don't mind,
yeah,
right?
yeah, go ahead.
All right,
If
yeah,
I make some cheddar, like
all right,
whatever.
yeah, why not? Yeah. Let's get the lawsuit popping. We'll have the titties popping, the Instagram popping.
Twerking, popping, everything popping.
So what did your parents, what do they think of?
They hate it.
They do.
They hated it. They
Do they understand like the money?
understand
I'm
now.
making assumptions. The money's
So,
incredible.
Everyone judges you until you making money. Like everyone judges you. Everyone talks shit. Everyone thinks things. Everyone thinks you're like an escort and all kinds of things that
Right.
you're sure. They all think that until they see, until you show them.
Right.
This is what I make. And like this is how, and then they're like, oh, okay.
Including the parents, or no?
Yeah, my parents.
Okay.
I've literally like my parents judged me for super long, and then all of a sudden they're like, okay, so she's got a house now.
Right.
She's going on trips, flying on jets. She's buying Range Rovers. They're like,
And
they
it's
were
not
like-
some guy doing it
and
for
there's
you.
no guy in the picture,
Right.
and like, and I was dating, like I had like normal relationships. Like they would meet the guys. Like I got engaged. Recently that ended, but I
Are you
was.
a bad picker? I'm starting to think you're a bad picker, Amanda. What's going on here? Stop swiping right.
Ah, no,
Yeah.
I don't swipe anymore.
Okay, no more swiping?
No, that's like the old, no
Okay.
more.
We need to find you a nice cowboy.
I know, a
Is
nice
that-
cowboy.
Okay.
I have to meet dudes in person now because, like, apps and stuff, people don't believe I'm real. They think I'm like a bot
Right.
or a catfish because my Instagram is so popular and people know. They're like, no, that's not you, that's Amanda Nicole. And I'm like, yeah,
You're like,
I'm Amanda Nicole.
right.
I'm like, you want to FaceTime? And they're like, no, I'm reporting you. And I'm like, I just tried to offer to FaceTime.
You're in trouble for being you across the board, no matter what. It's like you can't do anything right.
You can't do anything. And then like, if I do like try and like keep it like low key and attract guys with just like my personal like discreet Instagram and like just selfies, then when I like explain to them and I like talk to them before they meet, I'm like, hey, so before we meet, like this is what I do as a job. I'm like an Instagram personality, persona, and the persona is kind of thoughty. And I'm like, obviously like that part is inside me, but she is kept in a cage.
Right.
She's only released
It's
for
like-
chosen few or for certain things.
Yeah.
I'm like,
it's a character.
It's a character.
Yeah.
Like,
It's like the song, right? A lady in the street and a freak in the bed.
Yeah.
Right?
And
Isn't that what song is that? It's a song, right? It's I can't think of the song.
I
That is a song, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
by
In the
Usher.
streets, a freak in the sheets.
Yeah.
Freak in the sheets.
It's ludicrous and
Fine.
yeah, with Usher and everything.
A freak
yeah,
behind the
it's my jam.
cover.
Sue me.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
But so like, but now like nowadays like because of my like Instagram and stuff, with great power and reach comes great responsibility, and you can't be like a real thought in real life because
Right.
then all this stuff will be on the internet about
Right,
you.
right.
And you have all these haters, so you have to be a really good, choosy girl.
Right.
Is it hard to date?
It's like,
So hard.
Yeah. Because they think that's your persona.
They
correct?
wrote like tabloid articles about my life being a mess, like
really?
dating life. Yeah.
Who?
because,
Who's they?
Like the Daily Express or the Daily Star, like they wrote things about it because like I've been single. I've only been single for like 2-3 months now, but like that's long enough to where they're like, okay, there must be something wrong with you because you look like you do and you're single. And
Right.
Like, I'm like, no, just not everyone.
But also,
just
a lot
fucks
of guys
with it.
can't handle what you do, probably,
yeah,
right?
I know.
Like, probably almost no
I just
one.
got stood up last night. Last night.
Literally
because-
stood up.
Stood up.
No call, no text.
Texts, but they were not nice texts. They were. I told the dude the day before when he made the date, like about the persona, my Instagram,
Yeah.
everything. He doesn't go to like look at it. I don't know why a guy would like make a date with me and say I'm an Insta model and wouldn't check my Instagram till like hours before the dinner. Checks it and he's like, oh no. He's like, no. He's like, that's just a lot. And he's like, I wouldn't be able to handle that. He's like, my last 2 girlfriends cheated on me. I wouldn't be able to handle that. I'm like, so because I'm sexy on Instagram, you think that means I'm gonna cheat on you? I was like, it's okay. I was like, I get it. It's not for everyone and not everyone's cup of tea. I was like, it's okay if you're insecure after everything you've been through. I'm not insecure. And I'm like, well, you could have just said you're worried about
right.
girls cheating on
Right.
you. And
Yeah.
I'm like, that's like the definition of insecure.
Yeah.
Right.
And I'm like, there's nothing wrong with admitting you're a little insecure. But
I would just feel like opposite of sense of like being scared to date somebody and then they dish out information because you're
that happens
so,
too. I would be scared to date me too because of that. Like if you cross me, like
Yeah.
I could put you on
on
blast.
Yeah, you
Yes,
could.
right?
To 1 point
My-
something million people
And
and
like,
counting.
and like
yeah.
that number doesn't
That's-
sound like
that-
a lot
it's like a
until it's like, and it's like a dedicated, because like my account is newer, it's newer growth. I've gotten famous over the last year.
Which is really hard to do with this
Super,
algorithm and all
yeah.
that, right? Like it's
Yeah.
just not
So
easy.
if you
I
have
just
a
given up on
newer million, that means you have an actively engaged million.
Right.
And so if you piss off the wrong person, like you're getting a lot of hate. Like my last fiance, when we started dating, I would openly post that I was in a relationship and I would tag him. Which a lot of girls don't do. They don't like
Right.
risk it. They
Right.
don't like, you lose followers, you lose engagement, and like you never know who's watching too. You're like blowing chances with like celebrities and
Right, right.
you know, like all kinds of people when you do it.
We're
But
going to talk about that too in a minute, but
Yeah.
keep going. Yeah, yeah.
but I'm super like open about when I'm dating someone, so I openly posted him, and he built his account up to about like 12,000 followers or something. And
From what?
From, you know, like, I mean, I also helped him. I got him photo shoots with photographers and all kinds of stuff, but like but posting him probably like helped him gain a little bit of clout. And any girls that like followed me who probably like were interested when they saw we were single, they probably went to his page and were into him.
Got it.
Which is fine.
Can you get me and Natalini here up to 10,000? We just want to get to 10,000 so we can do a swipe up. Just
Yeah.
That's all we want. Can we
See,
borrow
so, yeah, even for
10,000
12,000.
each?
I feel
We
like
can
she's
try.
like the Taylor Swift of Instagram. Like if a boy crosses you, you know how Taylor like puts
Yeah.
her dirty
Right.
laundry. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I put it out there. I was being so calm. I try my hardest really not to, because it does like turn off and like detract like people in the future.
Yeah.
Right.
And
Yeah,
I also just don't want to bring negativity to my page.
it's bad juju.
But yeah, it's bad karma, bad
Yeah.
juju. But I went to LA and dude brought someone in my house with my security cameras, and I had security camera footage, so I'm like, I'm not gonna say nothing, I'm just gonna put this here.
Wait, brought someone to your house?
We don't know because he moved the security camera. I'm not gonna talk about it.
Okay.
Oh,
All
so
right.
he did something
All right.
really shady.
We're still friends. He did something really shady. I called him out for it. I do
So
regret.
he knows who he is right now watching this.
I hope he is
actually
not
knows.
watching this. I don't think he cares about me enough anymore to watch this because he's
Okay.
into
Hey,
himself. He's
you
super
never
full of
know.
himself. But like I just put that out there, and like he lost his shit because he was like, "Yo, I'm getting so much hate." He's like,
The
"It's
Amanda
crazy."
Army.
He's like, and I was like, "I giveth the clout, I can taketh away." He's like, "Oh, these girls don't want to fuck with me no more," and I'm like, "Oh, cause they know." Like, it's not like I'm making up stuff.
Right.
I'm like, I posted video footage of you being
Wow.
shady. I'm like,
savage.
and I'm like, I'm not making up stuff. I'm not even saying anything. I'm letting people think what they will.
Right.
And so he like, and then shortly after that, he got one of his Instagrams like hacked, and they like which I do not condone. That is against the law. Do not do that. Do not hack his Instagram or anyone's Instagram, and I definitely don't want anyone to hack mine. But
But you're smiling as
they,
you
like,
say that.
because they hacked his whole phone. I don't know
Oh,
what
wow.
they did, and
The
they,
Amanda Army's no
I
joke.
got
they
hacked too.
posted his text messages, videos. They posted like stuff that was all in his phone. Like, and then they texted it from his phone to me.
Ouch.
So I got
Wow.
all this stuff from his number, thinking it's him.
Don't
And
mess
I'm
with this
like,
girl.
No.
And I'm like, and he was like, "It's one of your hackers." Like, they're telling me, like,
Right.
and I'm like, or not my hacker.
Right,
like,
right, but-
like
Yeah.
they were like, "Oh, because they're a fan of you," and I was like, I have nothing to do with this. I was like, I'm like completely innocent. I'm like, I'm so sorry that's happening to you, and I'm like, change your passwords. Like, I don't know what to do. I was like, I don't even know what to do, and I was like, I don't want to piss them off. Like, whoever is this, I'm like, I don't want to piss them off. But yeah, like, it was crazy, and he has had so much flack from it. But yeah.
You mentioned celebrities earlier. Do you have celebrities and athletes sliding into the DM on a daily basis? You don't have to name names. We don't want to make you name names, but it definitely happens, right?
It definitely happens.
If you wanted to name names, I mean, we're not mad at you, but you know,
No, we're
you
not.
don't have to.
The names are, like, the names are so, like, I'm not even, like, faking shit. They're so big that I'm scared to say. Like, I would totally call them out.
Oh my
I totally
God.
would. But they're so big, like, some of them, and, like, it scares the death of me, like, to have that out. Like, I have, like, writers of, like, tabloids and stuff. They hit me up a lot. They're like, "Yo, like, what
Would
got?"
you just whisper one to me? I won't say the name, just out of curiosity. I promise I will not say the name. Just like whisper or type it. Would you just type it? I promise I won't say it.
I can. There is one person that hit me up that.
Just type it. Just type it. I won't say a word. I swear on my life.
I
Swear
don't
on my life.
know. You're gonna say it.
No, it's
okay,
like-
I'm gonna tell the story first.
Okay.
I'm gonna tell the story first. So there's one person that. So I was in a relation.
He's so giddy.
I was in a relationship once, and the dude like had like wanted to break up. Like, we were fighting and blah blah blah, and so we were like about to like break up, and then this one celeb slides in at like the perfect timing of that, and I even tell this celeb, like, yeah, like, we talk, like, of course I'm not gonna give this person my phone number because they're a big name, and like it'd be stupid not to, but I did tell them like they would have to wait. Like, I'm like dealing with like a fresh breakup,
Yep.
like, as in that day.
Needed the cooling off
And
period.
I was like, maybe in a month. I remember I was like, you can fly me out to Toronto in a month.
Toronto. This is a Toronto-based, let's say, recording artist, perhaps.
I don't know, but every
Maybe.
time, and then that same day,
Rhymes with make.
that same day, me and my dude like made up that fight or whatever, and
Mistake on your part. Keep going.
I know, right? I'm
Yeah.
so stupid. I
Yeah.
should have
Yeah.
went for it.
It's okay.
And because I am a good loyal girl, I
Right.
told him who I had talked to that day, and he got very insecure and jealous about that, and he was like, you need to text him right now so he never hits you up again, ever, or that you can't hit him up. You need to text him.
You didn't do that, did you?
He makes me text this really mean text.
No, oh my God, no.
He types it out, and I just hit the send because I'm like, I just like, I was in love and I was dumb. So I literally told this person to go fuck off.
No,
and then I would not.
Okay. I used to own a PR firm. I'm great at damage control. We can fix this.
All right.
We can fix this. Yeah, we need to fix this. And I think
I don't know.
I think
and then
you should tell that person you're willing to go on a date, provided that you.
Well, if she still wants to. Is she like?
He got really mad and butthurt back after I sent the
I'm
mean
thinking
message.
you say, look, I'll go on a date as long as you do the Vegas Junkeez podcast with me the second time I go on. I think that's a good idea. I'm not sure why I feel so strongly about this.
I doubt that would happen.
Not gonna happen? No good?
I doubt that happened.
Worth a shot. The worst thing you can get is a no, right?
I took a shot. Yeah.
But
okay, bad
but
idea.
yeah, ever since then, after that, every time a song would come on, that would be like, fuck that person.
The guy that rhymes with mate. That lives in Toronto.
Shut up.
Sorry. Okay, no, it's not him.
Not him. I did not say that. I'm gonna get sued.
No. No.
And then
we didn't say any names.
We didn't say any names.
One of like the biggest ones I did get like super excited about. They're remarried already now, so it was like a while ago. But they played in like superhero movies. So I would give that.
Like, there's more than one?
No, this person played in a superhero movie.
Okay.
Which I attract those because I hear
What would,
I look like
not,
Black Widow or whatever.
Without naming names, of course, because we don't want you to do that. But like, as a superhero, what would his superpower be? But you don't have to name that name.
No,
but
I don't
like,
even know
is he a climber?
I can't.
Does he have a big iron suit?
No. I wish.
Is he?
I would have been like, you better, girl.
Robert Jr.'s hot
Is he a guy that swings a big hammer?
No. Okay, so this is a guy. I'm not gonna give hints like that. This is a guy who was married, and recently, after this marriage ended, he was drunk in his hotel room, and he like slid in my DMs, and he said.
No, go ahead. Just act natural.
He said that because he's a superhero, his version of kryptonite, because he's not kryptonite, is his weak ankle and dem titties. And I was like, I died.
So he flies.
What?
He flies.
No, I don't think he does. He's not like.
Does he have a colorful suit?
No.
Black suit.
No.
Is he all-American type of guy?
No, that
like
guy.
If he was in the military, would he be a captain?
That one I wish too for you, girl. That one I wish he did slide into your DMs.
Girl. He has. I know he has a like private, super secret Instagram.
Really?
I've been trying to find it. He works out with one dude I used to hook up with.
But he works out because he's a big.
No,
like,
that
does he
one,
turn green? Say if he was really
no,
angry.
we're talking about our
we're talking about
wish.
like a wish.
Okay.
This one, you could say was chubby at one point.
I know exactly who it is. I got it.
And no, I don't think you do, but
Yeah, I do. 100% I do.
But he's really funny, and he thought I was really funny. He was like, man, you must have been super chubby yourself because you're hilarious.
Look, I'm not even going to say it. I'm going to just show you.
Show me.
Boom.
Yeah.
Boom. Boom.
Hey, I want to see
Well, it's a typo, but yeah.
But he's
yeah.
like super
Yeah.
old school. He is happily
Right. Yeah.
now.
I know a lot of girls that always ask me because I know a lot of celebs too. That that's my most common request from a girl is, can you hook me up with this? Do you know his one?
He's so old school too. He does not even know how to unsend DMs in Instagram. So them shits is still there.
Oh my God! All right, what about athletes? Do you have a lot of those?
Yeah.
Again, you don't have to name names if you just wanted to call out some sports, possibly
pressure.
cities as well.
Well, of course, like the Raiders are about to be here
Right.
in January, so the Raiders are
already
girlfriend hunting.
looking for local.
They're like, you're gonna be my Vegas wifey, and
They actually say that.
There's just one that says that.
Okay.
There's just one. There's just one.
So I would think that the win for you would be someone that plays for the Dallas Cowboys, and then you get two birds with one stone, right? You get the cowboy theme.
Or a cowboy, like a country singer.
The real thing, I should get with a country singer, I think. But the thing with athletes is that I tire them out too easily because they have to work out a lot, and it's bad for their career. Like, their whole career will go down. Their legs will be weak.
It's true.
It's true.
Right.
It's true. So
A boxer has to stay away from you. A fighter.
I dated a boxer with the same excuses, like not excuses, but it was like I can't because I have a fight tomorrow.
They have like fights, they have games. Like in football, like if you have too much sex, like it makes your legs weaker, I guess.
Right.
So you'd have to deal with like a lot of complaining if I dated an athlete.
Got it.
Get a singer, girl. Could have like a musician or something.
We'll see.
Right.
G-Eazy though. I like that.
There you go.
You know?
There you go.
But that's the only reason why I probably would fuck with the Raiders, because they from the Bay. I like Bay dudes. But
Yeah, is that where you lived in California? No, you were near LA,
I lived
right?
in SoCal. Yeah. No,
Where
I
were
just
you in
like
LA?
Bay dudes. Like Malibu-ish, so like northern.
Oh,
Vegas,
okay.
like northern part.
How do you like Vegas? How long have you been here now?
I like it. Just the dating is hard because it's like a small local community. There's like 5 hot dudes.
And
like,
everyone's dated them.
And they're all friends. Yeah, and everyone's dated them.
I know. It's one of the worst cities to date because it's so small.
Same with just Instagram in general. Like, I really like and wish to like date other Insta male like influencers who are like me, because they are completely understanding. They are completely not bothered at all by like everything I do, and anything we help each other. We make each other's captions that are thoughty.
Right.
Like we come up with each other's like thoughty.
That's one thing I've noticed about you. You actually write very funny captions to your stuff.
I think I do. Like every time I date like a male Insta dude, he's like, "Yo, give me a caption for this," and then I'm giving him like a funny, thoughty caption. No, but like I know. So when all these girls are being thirsty and like freaking out over the caption, I'm like, yeah, you being thirsty over me, girl. Yes, but yeah, I like them, and they get like excited over the same things. Like not a lot of people. Like a lot normal guys would be like irritated or annoyed. I'm like, oh my god, like this video or this post is doing so good, like I'm so excited, and like they just think they're like so like it's just likes, like whatever. But like someone who makes money off followers and likes like me, they're like thinking they're like, oh that's so great, like you're doing so good, like your money, like same with like even just like the blue check mark. Like if someone isn't in that and someone doesn't care about that stuff, like they wouldn't realize like that's such a big deal. Like I was supposed to have like a date that night that I got verified, and I was like, I cannot go on a date with this normal guy after I just got verified, because like this is all I'm gonna want to talk about. And I'm like, it's not gonna be a good impression, because I'm just gonna keep talking about my Instagram.
It's gonna be all about me.
It's gonna be all about this and how excited I am.
Well, it's a big deal.
And it was a big deal to me.
so hard to get it.
It's such a big deal, and like people don't understand. Like it takes so much work. Like you said,
did you tell the truth? Did you tear up a little bit when you saw it?
Oh, I freaked out. Yeah, I teared up. I screamed out loud like 3 times in the middle of the gym when I saw it. I was literally commenting on someone's post, and I saw my comment go to the top with like a blue check mark, and I was like, wait, what? I was like,
oh, so they don't like send you an email or anything?
They just send you like a notification, but I get so many notifications
you don't
I
even
don't see that. So I was like, I saw that, and I was like, wait, what? And I went to my page, and I was like, and I said out loud, like my headphones in, like super loud in the gym. I was like, no fucking way. And I was like, no fucking way. And I just like kept saying it super loud, like, and the whole gym is like looking at me, and I'm like wanting to like look around the gym and like see who I could tell. And I'm like, this is such a big deal.
How many notifications a day do you get? Like thousands, 10,000?
They're turned on, or you have to turn them off?
Yeah,
right?
I turned them
your phone
on.
Wouldn't stop.
I turned them on, but like Instagram, like it only notifies there's one notification for like likes and then different notifications for like comments. I don't know how it works. It doesn't blow up my phone like crazy, but I do have them on because I'm constantly
responding,
paying attention to like hater comments mostly. So like the second a negative comment or DM comes in, that's like oh my God, this shouldn't be on Instagram, or like, oh my God, this girl's such a blah 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 blah.
And what
I'm
do
like
you do?
immediately like go on and I block them because like it's protecting
Right.
my account and,
Right.
and it's protecting the algorithm and things like that because those reports they hurt your
Right.
account. You get shadow banned like and they.
How do you get away with, because
okay.
a lot of the photos you put on Instagram.
Oh, I've had my Instagram taken down like 5 times.
So does that make you nervous now as a verified, or does it change,
Well,
do you
the
think?
verified changes it.
It does.
I haven't had to go down in a year. I know their regulations really quick, like really good after being taken down 5 times. I learned what works and what doesn't work. And when I go back and I look at what I used to post when I did get taken down, I was like,
You're like,
yeah.
I deserved
I
it.
was like, I
Okay.
should have got taken down. Like, I was being crazy.
And now, the most of the money that you make from Instagram, is that from like people paying you to do posts, or is it from like is it Patreon or OnlyFans, or one of those?
My main income is OnlyFans.
Okay.
I get offered a lot to do paid posts. I typically I'm so strict about like what I think the value is for those, and then also like I don't like supporting things that I necessarily don't like, or if I think like it's gonna be like a sellout kind of post, I don't like to like make my page any less entertaining than it is. So
Right.
like things like that, and like if I don't think it goes with my brand or blah blah blah. Like even like there's this one male enhancement like company or whatever, like, and they sell like vitamins that like help like dudes, and I have a large male audience, of course, so they offer like big money for like posts, and I was gonna do it. I was like, you know what, like I was gonna do it, and then I had the dude I was dating at the time try it, and he went to the ER that night, and I was like, okay,
Oh,
so I
wow.
don't want to post this, like,
Oh wow, yeah.
he probably took too much or was sensitive, who knows, but like I was like, man, I don't want to post
Either way, it was
this
a
now.
negative
I
situation.
was like, this is like, I'm like, I don't want
Right.
anyone to go to the ER because I told them to buy it.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but like my OnlyFans is mainly like I can post whatever I want there, like uncensored and nudes and all that, and show this stuff that I really want to post, but I just know like I can't.
Right.
And so it's like another like creative-ish outlet to let that little wild side out, but and it pays. It does everything to where it covers everything.
My girlfriend just got on OnlyFans like a month ago, and she just keeps it still very, very tame, like probably not.
Yeah, you can make it
And
whatever
but
you
the
like.
money just from her doing it she has like 100 and something thousand followers. Just being super tame, the money in a month, it wasn't even a month, was incredible. I can't even imagine what.
Yeah, I'm in the top 0.4% of OnlyFans earners.
I mean, would you say, could you become a millionaire from?
Yeah.
Damn, she didn't even skip a beat. She just.
No, there's like girls that are in the,
yeah.
that I know that just
Yeah.
they don't have the following you do, but they make
Right.
about 20 grand a month. But they don't have the following you do.
I don't
you know
really
what I mean?
think they do. If they don't have the following I do, I don't think they make. I'm like, I would need like screenshots. Because,
Yeah,
like,
that's what they claim they're making on
It
OnlyFans.
shows like what percentage you're in.
Oh.
And like I said, like my friends who are in the top 0.5%, which means 95.5% of people aren't making what they make. They make like 20%.
Oh, okay.
Or 20,000 a year.
Right.
So like I'm like, I don't think like girls without
yeah.
that following, and like, but like.
Bitch be
Maybe
lying.
maybe she's got one fan that's like
Right. Oh, maybe.
maybe she's
No, but even then, no, it wouldn't matter because
It's
like
still high.
OnlyFans would put them
It
in the
keeps
top
track.
percentage. You
Got
know, it would
it.
keep track.
Okay.
And so like they would have to be.
do they
and
get
in
a,
the-
do they
in
get
the-
a cut of that OnlyFans? How does
yeah,
that work? So they get a percentage.
I think like 10% or.
So when you like transfer the money into your bank account, they take like 10%.
No,
Is
they
that
take
how
it
works?
automatically. Like as soon as the dude pays it. So my subscription is $10 a month. They take like $2 every time I make. And then like that's it. But they're super.
And they deposit every day.
Mine do it weekly.
Okay.
Everyone's is different, and they're super like reliable. They're super good, so like I have no problem giving them their cut, and
Yeah.
they make it. They process it. They do it all. Like
Got it.
And then, do you have people that work for you, or are you just a one-woman show?
No. Like
You do
every
everything.
girl who's like me, on a level like me, making money like me, has people running their stuff for them, and I really have to like look into it, but I do it all myself. It's a lot. Like
But probably worth it, because why not just like that's just what you do, right? So
it's probably worth it, but I also have trust issues. So
Right, 'cause
again,
it's-
if you're making that much
you
money,
have to be careful.
you don't want to give your passwords to like
Sure.
Yeah,
someone
people might take advantage.
take
and-
advantage of it. Like
makes
all it
sense.
takes is the wrong person to take
Yeah.
one
Right.
and so like lose track of it. But yeah, like on OnlyFans I get like 2,000 messages a day. It's like
But it's probably
so
good. They
hard.
probably know the difference too, and maybe that's why you're also more successful because they know it's you responding. You can just tell from.
Maybe no. I think they're very irritated. I don't respond as fast
Oh.
as I do, and when I do, it has to be like short. But like
Right.
it makes it so that the people that do really want to talk to me, they tip me like a lot. They're like, "Yo,
Right.
attention."
No, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Great.
Right.
So then it makes it more worth it, I guess.
Wow.
Harder to get, I guess.
Well, this was really cool. I'm glad
Yeah.
you sat down with us. See, this wasn't so bad. You didn't
I
even need to
know.
finish the whole drink to
know.
open up. We covered a lot of ground.
We
I mean,
did.
we covered you were thoughty in the beginning. We
Now I'm
covered
like
that
such
you,
a prude, though,
You
I
know,
swear,
You
like
know,
it's-
guy in Toronto that's very musical. We covered a lot. You don't have a big staff. You're in the top.
She's a
Percent?
successful entrepreneur.
Entrepreneur, a business
Yes.
owner.
Business
I
owner.
like it. All right, so all we got to do now is find you a nice cowboy. And then-
Yeah.
Well, the
All right.
rodeo ends this week,
Or a
so we
country
gotta get on it.
singer.
I think a singer would be your
all right,
jam.
so
That's what like everyone has told me.
think a
Like
singer.
legit, all my girlfriends told me. They're like,
Yeah.
I see you with like a country singer.
Yeah.
I was
You
like,
guys are
"That's
going to
so
these
weird."
country festivals and get on stage.
I'd rock my like cowboy boots,
Yeah. Gotta get
All
that
right.
going.
cowboy hats.
thank you so
Yeah,
much for
thanks for
sitting down with
stopping
us
by.
today.
Thank you.
Amanda Nicole, you are, I'd say follower, but you already are.
Probably already did.
Better.
We'll be right back with Sabina. And we're back, as promised, with another hot guest.
Yes.
How about that?
We just keep bringing hot
Sabina
people
Kelley.
on. I love this.
Fresh
guys.
off I was going to save it, but it's so good. You brought gifts.
I did.
The 2020 calendar. This is hot.
Ooh,
And
I see.
now we're going to fight over it because
Why?
it's signed to Vegas
both of you
Junkeez. So
guys.
who's it to?
Me.
It's to you?
Ladies first.
Right, yeah. Yeah.
We can share. I'll have it one week,
Yeah,
and then you can have
yeah.
it the next week. Or the
We're-
month. It's a
There you
calendar.
go.
Yeah, I'm here to tell you, you got to get this calendar because, especially February. Yeah,
Where is it
February.
available?
this is good.
It's available on my website, which is just sabinakelly.com.
The
Okay.
quality is amazing.
Good.
We're- Yeah.
Well, the coolest part about it is that after you're done with the calendar,
Yeah.
you can rip off each of these pages and they're prints. So
That's
we
genius.
made it specifically like that, so you can have it forever.
That is genius. Wow.
That's pretty.
Is this
amazing.
your first one? First calendar?
No, this is actually my 13th or
Look at us.
14th one.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I've been doing it for a while.
We're so spoiled here.
That's amazing. All right. Look at the
Thank
drink
you.
service.
Jack Coke.
Yeah. Look at you,
Thank you.
having babies a week ago, slinging cocktails the following week. Incredible. Yeah. So, cheers. Yeah,
Cheers. Oh, where's yours?
I had it. It's
Cheers.
okay. Yeah,
Cheers.
I'm not drinking. It's all right. Yeah. Well, thank you for doing this, first and foremost.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
And I asked you before we started rolling, I said, this one had to hurt. You said, not really.
Actually, it wasn't too bad. The artist was very light-handed, and it was about 8 hours on one side, 7 hours on the other, and by hour 6, I was squirming on both of them. But it really wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. And inside of my arm actually hurt worse than my neck. So
8 hours. So is it the kind of thing, like, are you watching TV or are you,
yeah.
just chilling? And do you have to have a couple drinks before you do it?
No, I usually have maybe a drink, but I can't take pills or anything that make me sick, and if I drink too much, it'll make me sick too, so.
Do you have any ink on you?
Just baby one right here.
You do?
Yeah.
Yeah, what do you have?
It's my zodiac sign. It's so cliche.
All right.
The butterfly. No, when I lived in Alaska before I left, I was like, I need to get ink just to like be memorable, like the whole experience. And I did it, and my body rejected the ink.
Oh.
Okay.
So I was like, no, I have to get it done here. So I went back, and it was still fresh, so it hurt really bad. But it's not. It was like really old school. It's like thick and tacky. Like it's not like delicate and beautiful like now, like tattoos are, because they've come a long way.
They have, definitely.
What was your first one?
The first one's on the back of my neck. It's a swallow with a horseshoe, number 13, and some flames.
So every single one has a meaning
Yes,
for you.
every single one of my tattoos does.
Are there, none of them were like random, drunken,
No.
crazy wild
No.
night?
No.
All very planned out.
There's probably some wild nights, but it wasn't like something that I didn't already know I was going to do. So.
And how do you figure out, do you, aside from picking what it's going to be, do you know where you want it to? Or because at
I'm
some
actually
point,
really weird about my tattoos. I make sure I place them so everything's pretty symmetrical, except for like a few little things. But other than that, like everything's very well placed. I don't have anything on my legs. I don't have anything on my stomach or my chest. I just feel like chest and legs are like a beautiful part of a woman, so I kind of didn't want to get all tattooed on those, especially doing modeling and all that.
Right.
I'm pushing the boundaries for sure with what I've got.
but that's the brand.
Yeah,
so
that's me,
Okay.
so.
Every time you show me the fingers, though, you keep blinding me with the rock, the rock that's on this
My
finger.
husband did good.
Holy shit, did he do good? I mean, is that messing up the lens tie? Like, holy shit. It's like a 64 karat diamond ring. I don't know what it is.
It's really good.
If you ever like need to lose 30 pounds, you just take the ring off and then step on the scale, and you're like, boom.
He loves me.
So did you start modeling and then started getting tatted, or were you tatted and then started
I
modeling?
actually was tattooed and started modeling, and it was actually really hard because a lot of photographers didn't want to work with me because I was tattooed.
Right.
So when I started, I only had a half sleeve, so I could fake that I didn't have tattoos and angle certain ways.
Right.
So when I ended up doing both sleeves, it really was like, Sabina, what are you doing? And but I had built a name for myself and kind of built my own little unique niche, and now it's my brand.
And now I feel like there's a lot of like Instagram pages dedicated
Yeah.
to it. There's magazines dedicated. It's different. There's TV shows, right? Like it's way more
Well,
accepted, or
There's a
whatever
whole
you want to
genre
call
for
it.
tattooed models
Yeah.
now.
Well, I did the TV show Best Ink. I was one of the permanent judges on that show, and so like TV has definitely helped with the whole tattoo industry. It still isn't acceptable though in the high fashion world and stuff like that. It's starting to get a little bit
Do you
better.
think it'll change ever?
I hope it does, but you can have crazy wardrobe on the runway, but tattoos aren't acceptable. They are on guys, but not girls.
But they'll say body paint's okay.
Yeah, or fake tattoos.
Right.
You're like, what?
You can always wear a sleeve, right, to cover them up, but
You can, and there is some makeup that you can do, but it's such a pain in the butt because you have to cancel out colors and I don't know.
And what made you get into it in the beginning?
I've always loved the look of tattoos ever since I was little, and a lot of people, they like art and they'll hang it on the wall. Well, I like art and put it on my body, so that's kind of.
Did your
I just like
parents
the
have
look.
them?
No, they hate tattoos.
So I was just going to ask you, so
They
when you
hate
did
it.
the first one, was it like, did you have to hide
It
it?
was more, yeah. They were so upset.
And that was back there, the first one?
Yep, the first
So
on the
your hair
back of my neck.
covered
I
it?
thought my hair was long. I was like, oh, they'll never know. Oh, yeah,
Parents,
they knew.
moms figured that
she was
out.
the first one that knew,
Yeah.
and she knew
she probably
instantly.
just
I'm
like
all,
scratched your
"How
neck
does
and
she
she's like,
know?"
what is that?
Right, moms smell the ink when you
Yeah.
come in. They're like, that's wet ink.
Yeah.
It's wet.
Yep. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And now they get it, they accept it, or
They're not
it's
happy
still
with it still. I have my own family, and my
Right.
whole brand and everything I do revolves around my tattoos, and they still don't like it. Every time I get a new one, they're like, "Why would you do that to yourself? You're so beautiful. Why would you do that?" And I was like, "It is."
Do you know how many you have? He's like, Mom, do
I
you
know,
know how
Mom.
many
It's
tats
come on.
I have?
It's
How
yeah.
many do you have? Do you actually
I
know
have
the
no
answer?
idea. No idea. I have my whole back done, both arms, my
Like,
neck.
I want to say it's over
tops of my
like
feet.
maybe it's like 100 maybe.
Maybe. Well, it's a lot of a lot of them go together, so
Right.
it's hard to tell
Right.
what
Do you
exactly.
consider like the shading in between a tat, or is that
Well,
just like
sometimes not really, because I'd consider this we did this one as one whole piece.
Got it. Okay.
But then this one has little individual pieces that we put together. So,
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
You won't ever do the face. But
Maybe, but
maybe.
right now I haven't really been into wanting to get anything new lately, so I'm not sure. We'll see. Once I'm done modeling, maybe we'll see.
Are you gonna be like those moms that are okay
One
with
of
their
those-
kids having
Actually,
tattoos,
my
or are
daughter
you?
just did her first tattoo the other night.
Oh, fun.
Yeah,
You went
so
with her?
my husband did it on her. Yeah.
Oh, right, so your husband
Yeah.
is a tattoo
Yes,
artist.
I'm sorry. Yeah, my husband is.
Yeah, when he's
Nick's-
not out buying big giant rocks of a wedding ring, he's tattooing people.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Shout out to him.
Yes.
Right.
And when you do these tattoos, like I saw you were in a movie recently.
I did a movie called Inside Game that
and
just came out in theaters.
Your character obviously was.
I had tattoos. I was a money runner, so yeah.
And are you looking to do more acting?
I definitely enjoyed doing the movie. That was like the first real movie that I'd done, and I've done TV work, and I definitely want to do more. It's a lot of fun, and it challenged me, so it was good.
And then it also says Showgirl on your Instagram.
Yes, and I actually have some super exciting news. So I'm going to be guest starring in X Burlesque at the Flamingo on Valentine's Day and on the 15th, the day after. So
that's awesome.
Super excited.
Congrats.
Thank you.
We'll have to come and support. I have a lot
Yes,
of friends in
for
that
sure.
show.
Do you?
I have a
Oh,
lot of
great.
friends in
That's
that show.
awesome.
Was that the show you were in for a brief minute or
No,
no?
What show were you in?
My show closed 53X. It was
Oh, yeah,
a
I heard of that
Yeah,
one.
co-ed burlesque show.
That was
Chip
the
and Dale's.
That's
topless,
awesome.
the one you did that was topless?
No, Sexy was
different
topless.
show.
Yeah.
Did you do
Okay.
Sexy also?
For like a minute.
Oh, no way.
I
I love
helped open
Jen.
the show. It was like one show, and I was like, I'm good. Had my share, bucket list, checked it off,
Yeah.
move on to the next. No, I do a lot of burlesque.
Oh, that's
So,
awesome.
but those usually pasties, or
Yeah.
it's more,
Exactly.
the bra covers majority of it. But
I guest headline PinUp at the Stratosphere
Oh,
for
that's such a fun
about a year.
show.
Yeah, I did that one, and then I did Jubilee at Bally's.
So you dance.
Yeah, I'm a trained dancer.
Jubilee ran forever, right? Is it still?
No,
running, that show?
it's closed.
That was at Bally's?
That was
Yeah,
at Bally's.
that's real showgirl.
That
Like,
was
I remember that
old
show when I was
school.
little, coming
Exactly.
coming to town, like even in the 70s, I
And
think.
the set was incredible, and they
Yes.
would
Right,
have like
and
a
the
I love
giant
costumes, yeah,
Titanic
yeah.
that would appear.
I
and,
wish,
like,
I
this-
really wish they had something like that
I
again here in
know.
Vegas. Like, there's no real showgirls, and it kills me because that's what Vegas is all about,
Right.
you know?
You would think people would go,
It
but
comes in waves. The showbiz world
Man.
in Vegas honestly
Yeah.
comes in waves. I feel like we will have something like that, but not as a big.
It just needs a lot of money.
Because casinos don't back up shows
Nope.
anymore. It's all four wall.
Right.
And
Yep.
those costumes alone, each one's like 10 grand.
Right.
It's ridiculous.
And
They
then
are.
salaries
He
of
says the
girls
rhinestones.
and- yeah.
It's so
100%.
expensive.
The sets,
so-
everything, it's got to be somebody
Yeah.
coming in with a lot of
it's
money
going to
for
take
it.
probably like a big name headliner to incorporate that into their show, maybe.
But like keep it here rather than just
Yeah.
do residency. So we have
Right.
a lot of residencies. Been there, done that. We need like huge,
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So we'll
For
be
sure.
soon. We'll be soon.
Gotta happen.
But we're excited. Yeah, I'm gonna come see you. I have a bunch of friends that are in that
Please.
show. Yeah.
Awesome.
What is your dream job, or
Dream job?
yeah?
Well, I feel like I do what I want to do. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like I get to travel all over the world for my work, model, dance, TV. I would love to do a show that's like an old school showgirl show, but to be heavily tattooed. Because when I did PinUp, I was the
Like
first.
that actually might work. That might be the
It
next
might, because it's
logical-
modernizing it a
Right.
little bit, keeping it classic, old school.
Right.
You know, showgirl with like the big fountains, kind of like the Lido. You know, but the big showgirl headpieces. You know, that sort of thing. I was the first heavily tattooed showgirl to headline on the Strip when I did PinUp. And so that was breaking a huge boundary for a casino to allow a girl that's heavily tattooed to be in
Were
a
you
show.
well
where,
received?
yeah, it was
Okay.
great.
PinUp
It sold
was
out
at,
when we did it.
Planet Hollywood, right?
No, it was at Stratosphere.
Stratosphere.
I only did it.
Stratosphere, okay.
I did it as a guest.
I'm thinking of Peep Show. Sorry.
Oh yeah.
Who was this? Sinclair was her name?
Claire Sinclair.
Yeah. She
Yeah.
Was,
She
took
was
over
the-
her spot.
I went in as a guest for
Okay.
a week, and it went so well because I sold out the whole week that they came back, and
Get it,
I did it
girl.
for a year as like her backup when she wanted to leave. So it was fun.
Yes.
I was like, I couldn't complain that I was
That's
like,
so yeah. Scratch that
Were you
shoulder.
like classically trained as a dancer? Yeah, really.
I was in a ballet company for about 4 years when I from like around high school, and I've danced all my life since I was about 2.
And did you have tattoos yet? Well,
No, not when I
yet.
was 2.
Okay. No, but I mean in high school.
No, I didn't.
not
I
yet.
actually
Okay.
didn't get tattooed until I was 20 because I was in Jubilee. And so when I was in
you were in
Jubilee, yeah, I was in
Jubilee.
Jubilee for 2 years, and I was a baby in Jubilee. Like I was 18 when I was there. I did all their billboards and stuff, and I didn't have any tattoos. I wanted tattoos, but I wasn't allowed to have any tattoos. All my friends were heavily tattooed, and as soon as I left Jubilee, I was on my way to the Moulin Rouge in Paris, and I did the back of my neck, and I got out there, and they're like, "What did you do?" And I was like, "Send me home. I don't care." And they did. They're just like, "No more." And I was like, I was just when I was a little brat, and you know, I was like, "No,
Does
I'm
it
getting
become
more."
addicting a little bit?
I don't.
that the
Everyone
right
says
word?
that. Everyone says they're addicting. I don't really feel like it's addicting, but I knew I always wanted to be heavily tattooed, like ever since I was young. So it didn't I mean, it's like I'm heavily tattooed now, and I'm not like I have to do more. I'm like
Right.
I don't really care anymore.
I
So
feel like more than addicting it unleashes the fear of like, oh, it's permanent. Now you're like, okay, it's
Yeah.
on me. I can do what I want to
I
do.
mean, it's
Probably.
like I don't regret anything that I've got on me, but I do think some of it's dumb now, and it's like
But at the
sometimes
time
I'm
it
like,
wasn't,
oh,
right?
yeah, exactly.
Right.
But then it's like I look at it and it's a memory, and it's funny from whatever it was, you know.
Exactly.
So I'm like, whatever.
You didn't do anybody's name on you.
I did.
You did.
Well, look, I have my husband's name on me right now, isn't it on this
Okay.
side? Yeah. But I did have a name on me that I took off actually myself.
Yourself?
I was doing tattoo removal at the
Oh,
time,
okay.
and I took it off, and now I got to
Oh.
cover up. So
I was like,
it's
"Damn,
good. But
girl."
I did a name again. So but
Were
it's
there
gonna last.
any that were done, but you don't like the way the guy did them? Were you a little disappointed, or pretty much you
yeah,
know,
maybe
that-
a little bit. Yeah. But
We would never know, but
Yeah,
like
nobody
maybe your
else would
vision
really
wasn't-
know.
Because you have to draw it out first. some
I
of them, or-
usually have the artist draw it up, and then I cut it out and I tape it on myself where I was gonna get it done and run around and a whole day with it and see
Oh,
if
wow.
I love it or hate it. A lot of artists don't like to do that. They like to, especially really good artists, like to just draw on you
right
when they're gonna do the tattoo,
Right, so they're in
and
the
do it.
moment.
Like sometimes I think artists are scared you're gonna take their idea and go to get it done by somebody else for
Oh.
cheaper, so they won't do that. So you have to either be good friends with them or married to one, and
then
like.
when you have before you married your husband and you used to go, are you able to like get them for like in trade, like for being an influencer kind of thing? Because this gets expensive.
Yeah,
right?
people definitely do trade for tattoos and stuff. I don't know. That's something though I wouldn't want to just trade out because it's
Oh,
permanent.
interesting.
You know, so
Exactly.
it's like I have a million people hitting me up.
Right.
Oh, tattoos
You don't
for
want a
free.
deal
Come
from
on, and
your
I'm like,
brain surgeon, and you don't want a deal from
Yes,
your
exactly.
tattoo
Even a
artist.
haircut, you're
Right.
like,
yeah, you're all, no,
Right.
I'm good. I'm good. Yeah.
pass, yeah.
Yeah. So I get that all the time. Like, oh, come on, I'll tattoo anything you want, and I'm like, no, I'm good.
They don't trust it.
Yeah.
Did you find, like, obviously your husband is tatted up. Was dating before him, is it hard to, like, do you only pick people that you know are obviously into this, or like do you?
Not necessarily. I've always been in long-term relationships. Like I never had a big span of time in my life where I was dating a lot. I just never had that. I don't know. I guess I always just ended up in long-term relationships. But I've always been more attracted to heavily tattooed guys. But it wasn't a requirement. You know what I
Right.
mean?
A checklist.
Yeah,
just
it wasn't
happened
one
to
of
be
those
a
where it's like,
mutual connection.
Yes.
And
And
attraction.
What
Yes.
about, like, do you find that people judge you before they've even
Oh.
spoke to you? Like that's you deal with daily, right?
100%.
And
I don't
who's-
notice it as
who's
bad.
tougher on you, men or women?
It's a generation thing. I don't think it's men and women. I
It's
think
not
it's a
necessarily,
generation.
yeah, it's
I
not
think it's like an
necessarily men or
older,
women.
younger thing.
Well, because some of the older people actually really like it. They're like,
Really?
oh, that's really pretty, you know, you'd be surprised. But then, I mean, it's a lot of, I do see it from a lot of parents at my kids' schools that are like, you know what I mean? Or like some people instantly, you know, at the grocery store, they're just like, ugh.
Right.
But I don't know. I don't notice it as much. I mean, maybe it's because tattoos are a lot more acceptable now. But I did get it at the beginning a lot more
Yeah.
because I guess it wasn't as, you know, popular for females to be tattooed. I mean, I've been getting tattooed for a long time, so it definitely is a
And
lot different now.
Do you get what people think are compliments but are actually
Backhanded
Yeah, like do they ever say things like, "Oh, you're so sweet. Why did you do this?"
all the
to you?"
time.
They
That's
do
the
that
depth.
to you.
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
you're too pretty
Yeah,
to be so
yes,
inked up.
yes.
Or,
Right.
All the
"Screw
time.
them."
Yes.
And
yeah.
you just get used to it, and it's
Yeah.
just it is
Are
what
those
it is.
real? I'm like, come on.
Right.
No, I draw them on every day.
I
Cracker
Every
Jack.
hour.
I'm addicted to Cracker Jacks. You know.
Come on, people.
Right, it's ridiculous.
No, yeah. I hear you. You're the only, you and this other girl who's in Humanity are the only, you know, Brie?
Yep,
Yeah,
I
they're
do.
only
She's
two
awesome.
showgirls in town that I know of that are fully tatted, and they are like
Working.
phenomenal. Yeah, they're like working showgirls, and they're just like super gorgeous on stage, and no matter what, it's like it's them. You know what I
Thank
mean?
you. That's awesome.
So it's nice to see that shows actually still
Yeah,
hire
definitely.
tattooed showgirls. You know?
It's pretty awesome.
Years ago, I used to own a PR firm, and I was trying to do. I'm just drawing a blank on her name. Bombshell. She goes by the name Bombshell. I can't remember her name. Do you know who I'm talking about?
Are you talking about the one from San Diego?
Yes.
No.
And she
Stop it.
she dated she was like the mistress
Yes.
to Sandra Bullock or whatever.
That's
So-
a nightmare. You want to know something about that?
Yeah,
She
yeah.
has a makeup line.
Oh, Oh, I don't
Talking
know.
about
I don't think it, Michelle.
No,
Michelle
McGee,
Bombshell, right?
Michelle
Michelle
McGee.
Yeah.
I don't know her very well, but she was a pinup model around that time, I
Yeah,
think, and
right.
she's heavily tattooed.
Like
Well,
everywhere.
Yeah, but she, I mean, I've met her before, but I don't know her very well.
Right.
I owned a tattoo removal business called Bombshell Tattoo Removal. And I had like paparazzi there, like, you know, looking, just thinking I was her because my name of my shop was Bombshell.
Yep.
And because I had blonde hair, and at that time she had blonde hair. And I was like, are you kidding me? Like, no. And then there was like some rumors of her and Carrie Hart, and I was working at a Carrie Hart shop, so they were harassing him, they were harassing me. And they were trying to, it was just a big old disastrous mess. They had like TMZ was calling me to try to ask me questions about Jesse, and because I've worked with Jesse James, you know, with West Coast Choppers for his calendar and Chopper Dogs and all that. So I was just like, Jesse's a dear friend. Like, no, there's like, go away.
At the time, I had the PR firm, and I also owned an online poker site called Bombshell Poker.
And so you got harassed too, or what?
I was trying to do a deal with her, and MySpace was still a big thing back then. And she had a lot of followers on MySpace, and so I was trying to get a deal done with her, but she was not as kind and
what's she doing now?
I have no clue.
She's like disappeared.
Maybe. Yeah. But it basically was like the only two that I've ever like just like I've been sliding in the DMs since MySpace days.
Yeah, he's been very
the only
persistent.
two that were like so difficult
successful.
and so arrogant was her and Tila Tequila at the
Tila
time.
Tequila.
I was trying to get a deal.
What is
with
she doing
Tila-
now too?
Oh my God.
And same thing, and it's like, man, like they just don't
can't
get it.
with
You know, they
She tried to do a photo shoot with me one time, and
Really?
I was like, she's
Tequila.
tiny,
I
isn't
feel
she?
like
tiny,
I've
tiny.
seen
Yeah, I was
her
like,
on
this
there.
is like dumb.
4'10" or something.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
and like the ego and behind both was so like overwhelming, and I was like,
crazy.
you don't get it, like you don't understand. This could be just your,
15
it could be your
this is
15
your
minutes,
15
and maybe you have an hour and 15
You know what?
minutes.
And
Who
that's
knows?
it,
But if you're
yeah.
not, if you're that closed and arrogant, and you don't realize that you're gonna have to reinvent
sad.
yourself
It's
3 or
so
4
sad.
times over the course of your career, it's just the way, no matter who you are.
Well, one thing I always go by is like everybody you see on the way up are the same people you're gonna see on the way down. So like you just you have to treat people with respect and treat people the way you would want to be treated, and I think it's super important.
Yeah.
And it just comes with then either you have it or you don't. You know what I mean? And then with fame, it just becomes more and more relevant that you are an arrogant prick.
And it sucks. It really sucks. Like if there's somebody you look up to, and then you meet
it's
them,
such a
and then
turn-off.
they're the biggest asshole,
Oh my
and
God,
then you're
don't
like,
even get me started on that.
Probably have like
So I don't have that many, you know, so my dad is Tony Orlando. I don't know if
Okay.
you know who that is. He was a famous singer like in the 70s.
Okay.
Ask Grandma.
Okay.
So I've been lucky. I've met just about almost anyone you can possibly name.
That's awesome.
And my dad lives in Branson, Missouri since '93, which Branson is kind of like, it's kind of like Vegas with no gambling.
Okay.
And no fun.
so nothing like
so-
Vegas.
So why do you want to be there?
Right. So instead of
like
casinos, well, you'd probably like it. Instead of casinos, it's performing arts centers. Boom, boom, boom,
that's
all
cool.
down
Yeah,
the
I like
street.
that.
So
Yeah,
different
yeah.
live shows, like the Osmonds, you know, all these different live shows. And so the Regis and Kathy Lee
Oh, it
was the
wasn't
show
even
back
Kelly. I
then.
was saying
It wasn't
Kelly.
even
I know,
Kelly.
wait, what?
It was
Kelly.
Regis and Kathy Lee back then.
Okay.
They came to Branson and did a week of shows, and they did it. I want to say when I can't remember the movie that he was promoting, Braveheart. When Mel Gibson had Braveheart, that's
so
a
long
lot.
ago.
You know that. You know when you were 3. Yeah, you remember?
I remember.
Do you remember
Did
being?
you have like spot? Did you have like face paint
you
or
remember being
something?
3 and your parents dragged you to Braveheart, right? You remember
I was
that? when you
still,
were-
I was still coming
I
from
still
Argentina.
never seen it.
Yeah.
I was still immigrating from Argentina. So no.
I used to love Mel Gibson.
Okay.
I was so excited that my dad was going to be on Regis. It was like my dad was like Mel was the guest, and then my
Mel.
dad, and then my dad was
Okay.
going to perform.
Yeah.
So I was so excited. I'm in the green room just waiting, like, and I heard his voice coming from outside, like he was coming down the hall. And I was like, It's weird. I've met everyone. I only get nervous like when I meet baseball players because I'm a huge baseball fan,
Right.
or like boxers because I was a big fight fan. first like celebs. So like I met De Niro, I met Pacino, I met them all. Never getting for whatever reason. I was like a little like, oh my god, like Mad Max is about to come in, like the original Mad. Like, are you kidding me right now? Lethal Weapon, like come on.
I couldn't get the original Mad Max. I couldn't get the
I liked that when I was a kid.
No.
Yeah, I did like that.
No, the first 5 minutes I'm like, I can't.
Okay, lose my number. But anyway,
you guys can't work together anymore.
I don't know who are you. She doesn't even watch America's Got Talent. Don't even get me started.
I don't either.
Oh god.
Or Idol.
No.
Sorry, no.
I think it's like a real performer thing. We don't watch it.
No, I can't watch TV in general. I don't know. It's boring.
Okay.
Even
How
when
about
I'm
Breaking Bad.
Actually, Breaking Bad was good.
Okay.
Okay, no.
We're back.
Bring it back. Focus.
Yeah.
So anyway, sorry, we didn't mean to interrupt here.
Mel comes in, and usually, when I meet, even if if a celeb has a history or a rumor that he's not nice, when I meet them with my dad, everyone's nice. I get a different treatment, because it's like that Hollywood respect, whatever. He was such an asshole. Maybe he was having a rough. It was 8 a.m. because they do that show early in the morning.
Yeah.
Like, maybe it was just he was having a bad day, so maybe it's that.
Yeah, maybe he's not a morning person.
I was so disappointed that Mel Gibson, oh my God, so disappointing. But it's like you were saying, sometimes you meet them and you're like, shit.
It seems so cool.
Sometimes it's better not to know.
Not to know.
Yeah.
Just have that illusion of them, that Hollywood illusion that they're
Right.
like,
Right.
them,
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you could meet any celeb, who would it be? Like, who's your like top male actor, female actress?
I like Charlize Theron.
Really?
Yeah, I really like her. Yeah.
Who didn't she play Mad Max in the reboot?
She's in the
I
reboot.
haven't actually seen the I haven't seen the rerun.
The reboot,
yeah,
yes.
the reboot.
The original, no.
No, not
Can't
the
get through
The
it.
reboot sucks, by the way. But
The reboot,
anyway, whatever.
let's
Don't
cater
listen
to
to her.
my generation.
I don't want to argue in front of company. Okay.
Or agree.
Okay, Charlize, and then what about on the guy? Who's your favorite like guy actor?
I don't
mean
have
like
one.
the date.
No,
I just
I
mean
know,
like
I don't really have
he's in a
one.
movie. I gotta see it. You got someone?
I don't really have one.
Really?
I really don't.
So you're not even a Netflix and chill. What do you do for fun? Or
I like
is
to
it just
go.
work and mommy duty?
It is work and mommy duty, but my work I love, and I get to
Right.
travel. I love traveling. Traveling is a
Okay.
big thing. Eating is a big
Eating?
thing.
That's a good one.
I like
Italian,
bowling.
sushi, what are you?
Mexican. I like a Mexican.
Okay,
food.
so she was of no help. I'll ask you.
I just ate a burrito on the way here.
Yum.
Good,
I'm jealous.
like hole-in-the-wall Mexican in Vegas. Help. Where? Where do I go?
I actually don't even know
There's
good
nowhere.
ones. No, there's not. I'm from California, so
Me too.
like
LA.
I'm used to LA. Yeah.
Chips and guac.
oh,
I judge you off
I
of
just
chips
go to
and
my
guac.
Roberto's.
so good. Roberto's is like the closest, but it's not even close.
It's not
You know what I
close
mean?
either.
Where is that one? That one.
It's
Roberto's.
everywhere.
It's just like those little like.
They're like on
taco
every
shops
corner.
are everywhere.
Oh.
Yeah.
No, I don't want
Don't
that.
ew.
No, I don't want. I made a face.
Okay, go to those over-the-top expensive places that are like
They're no good
$80
either.
for a
Like
meal. And you're like,
Javier's?
okay.
Yeah, it's no good.
Javier's is
I mean, it's good, but it's not worth.
so overpriced.
It's crazy.
Chips
If
and
Mexican
salsa.
for two people costs $100, you're in the wrong
You're in the
place.
wrong
Yeah,
right?
that's
It defeats
true.
the whole purpose
That's
of
true.
Mexican.
It's supposed to be at
Yeah.
least
True.
less than 20 tops.
We're in California.
San Luis Obispo.
Oh, that's a nice
Oh, really?
area.
You know where
Did
it's
you?
at?
Did
Yeah.
you? Here's a fun fact. Did you
Okay.
ever go to the Hearst Castle?
I have
I know
never
that's-
been to Hearst Castle, but I've been to Madonna Inn.
I've always wanted to go
I
there,
love
too.
Madonna Inn.
So
yeah.
there's a IMAX movie at
Okay.
the castle that they show about Hearst Castle.
Okay.
It's been running since 1994.
Okay.
I am one of two people that speak in the movie. I play William
like,
Randolph
"Go see
Hearst's co-pilot.
Like, if we like YouTube this, we can find it.
No, it's not on there.
not on
You
there.
have. It's only at the
I
castle.
think there's a way.
They originally told me it would play at the castle for 2 years and then it would go like IMAX.
Yeah.
movies. This one for whatever reason
Stayed there.
Can you
Stayed
reach
there.
out to them and ask?
I still randomly get messages like once or twice a year.
Mm-hmm.
Are you in the movie at Hearst? I was 24. Like
They
my hair is,
recognize-
like, they actually
Shouldn't you
recognize
be
me.
getting like residual money from that,
So
or like a buyout, or
I only
no?
grew up in showbiz. Why would I sign a contract
True
that
that,
is
homie.
is a complete buyout? I get
Yeah.
$800.
I understand.
It's been running since '94.
Here, you got
What an idiot!
Idiot. It's okay. You
It
live and
plays
you learn.
every day. It's
Damn, can you
it's
imagine?
played every single
And they're
day.
making bank
So
there at
much
Hearst
money
Castle.
for 25 years.
Oh, wow.
And I'm one of two people
can't.
that speak. in
Okay,
the
we're gonna have
movie.
to see this. We're gonna track.
No, I
this
know,
down.
right?
On narration.
I'll definitely go check
And
it
I've
out.
never seen it, by the way. I've never gone up and seen
not
the
surprised.
seen the
Because
movie.
it's far. Even
Yeah.
living in
Road
San Luis,
trip.
it was like, oh, I don't want to go all the
We
way
got
up
a road
to there.
Yeah.
We got a
And
road
I
trip.
even remember my lines. I do. My first line
You
is.
should have signed a contract.
My first
friend.
line is a lot of fuss over a newspaper.
Oh.
Yeah.
And then
It was
what?
like the plane was taking off.
Yeah.
We were on John Travolta's DC-3. He lent it to the production,
The
or
production, the
probably rented
crew.
it to the
Yeah.
production. I guess
Yeah.
he got paid.
He's probably getting
He's still
residual.
getting money.
He's
yeah.
got it.
Travolta's plane makes more money than I do. And this kid runs up, and the whole premise was like, we're flying back to the castle, and the chief, William Randolph Hearst, wants his paper. So the guy almost forgot to bring the paper. So we stop. So I get the paper, and I show it to the pilot, and I
Right.
go, a lot of fuss over a newspaper. He goes, I only remember this because the guy that played the pilot, his claim to fame was he was the ambulance driver in MASH, in the final episode of MASH. That's his claim to fame. And
He's getting residual.
and
Yeah, right? Totally.
and Jason killed him in Friday the 13th part, whatever.
There's so many of those, yeah.
Whatever one Jason first got killed in, I'm assuming he's been killed more than once for Hollywood purposes, right?
Yeah, he
So
comes back.
where I'm in the makeup trailer, it's my first movie set, like my only movie set. My only
First
role.
of-
My career started and ended with this movie, and so I'm sitting in the makeup trailer, and the pilot comes in, and like it was like a big deal, like, oh, he's been on Matt, like literally, like, and I don't know any better, it's weird, like I grew up around
my
this shit, but more on
God.
the music side,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and so I'm like nervous, like I'm like, oh my God, I have this one line, like, don't screw this up, So this guy's name was John Otrin. I think
Okay.
I have his last name right, John Orlando, so we're both John O, right? So he comes in, he sits down, and we're both doing makeup, and he goes, do you want to run lines? And so I'm like, yeah, sure, and I'm like nervous, so I go, a lot of fuss over newspaper. His line, now, hold on. My dad once told me, my dad's done limited acting. My dad once told me, Eddie Olmos, you know who that is? Edward James Olmos, Miami Vice, been a couple other movies, tons of movies, character actor. He told him, when you need to run your lines, do them rapid fire, really fast, and it'll help you remember. Don't worry about acting them, just say them as fast as you can, and it'll commit it to memory.
Yeah.
So now this guy comes in, he's like, you want to run lines? I'm like, sure. So I go, a lot of fuss over newspaper. He goes, if you weren't new, you wouldn't say that. The chief wants every paper delivered every day. I mean, every paper delivered every day. So I'm thinking, oh, wow. Like, I always think my dad doesn't know what he's talking about, and I'm like, oh my God. Like, I've heard, so I'm like, a lot of fuss over the newspaper. He's like, if you weren't new, you wouldn't say that. She wants every paper delivered every day. I mean, every paper delivered every day. Okay? Now it gets time to shoot the movie.
Did you start talking like that on the movie?
So I go, I bring the thing, I hand him the paper, I go, a lot of fuss over a newspaper, and I sit down. He goes, if you weren't new, you wouldn't say that. The chief wants every paper delivered every day. I mean, every
That's
paper
how he
delivered
says
every
it.
day. Director goes, cut, John. I go, yeah. He goes, not you, John O. I'm like, yeah. He's like, not you. He's like, John Otrin. He goes, you need to slow that down. He goes, okay. All right, so now we reset, whatever. Action. A lot of fuss over a newspaper. He goes, if you weren't new, you wouldn't say that. Chief wants every paper delivered every day. I mean, every paper
No.
delivered every day. Cut! He's like, still too fast. We did this 50 fucking times.
Oh my God.
For hours. The director's
For like 2
and
sentences.
every time I keep thinking I'm the one that, he's like,
I kill
cut,
him. I
John.
kill
I'm like,
him.
yeah. He's like, not you. To the point where we finally finished. 3 months later, I get a call. They go, you need to come back. We had to get rid of the other dude. And so I shot it again. So I'm thinking, cool, I got another 800.
No.
1,600 now I've made.
You're kidding.
Yeah, 25 years later, nothing. Anyway, I just thought that's the sum of
gonna
my,
have
I don't know why I told you that.
I like that. too.
San Luis Obispo, it's your fault. You brought it up.
Oh my
You
God.
brought it up.
I
can't.
did.
Sabina,
I
not
did.
my fault.
I did.
Tell us more about you.
What do you want to know?
I want to know what's next. Aside from I'm fascinated now that we've been doing this show on like Instagram, and are you on TikTok yet?
I'm not on TikTok. My
What are you
kids
doing?
are. I don't like TikTok.
You got to get on.
Really?
Yeah, it's going to be the next Instagram.
I don't know about
That's
that.
how it happens. Instagram, sure. Remember when
I
your
don't
parents
know.
were on Facebook? Are your parents on Facebook?
I don't like Facebook.
Okay. Are your parents on Instagram yet?
No. Yes, my mom is.
Okay.
And my mom's
But
on
do you
Facebook.
remember when you weren't on Instagram?
Yes, I do.
And you remember when your mom wasn't on Instagram?
Yes.
And are your kids on Snapchat?
Yes.
Are your kids on TikTok?
Yes.
Well, guess what's next? You're going to be on Snapchat. Are you on Snapchat?
I did it for like a week, and I was like,
do you
this is
remember
dumb.
when you said, I'll never make a Snapchat?
Yes.
I'm not.
But I seriously only lasted a week. I was like, this is
Okay.
dumb. I don't like it. You know, there's so many different social media platforms.
Right.
That.
But TikTok, I'm telling you, listen to me. 'Cause
Tell me
you have
why.
personality. Here's
Okay.
why. So I have, don't laugh,
Okay.
2,000 something followers on the gram.
Great.
The highest amount of views I've ever gotten on Instagram, I think, was 10,000.
Okay.
And that took me wearing a diaper on the strip because I
Right.
lost a bet.
Okay.
Other than that, I get a few hundred, maybe. Okay. I've been on TikTok for like 2 weeks.
Right.
I posted a clip from the Action Junkeez episode the other day. It's had 133,000 views.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Really?
At the time, I had 80 followers, and it got 133,000 views. Now I have like 1,300 followers. The engagement on organic engagement on TikTok, because on
Yeah.
Instagram, as you know, because the
kinda-
algorithm changed,
yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, that's
not
gotten-
everyone's seeing
it
your
sucks,
stuff.
yeah,
even
that
though they
does
follow
suck.
you.
Yeah.
So if you have, what do you have? Like almost 200,000
Yes.
on Instagram. Listen to me.
Okay.
In 2 months on TikTok, you'll have 2 million. You remember this conversation.
Remember this.
Remember it.
All right, I'll try it. And I'll
Okay.
let you know what I
That
come
is
up
a
with.
verbally binding agreement. And
All
then
right.
when you're 2 million famous on TikTok, I want some sort of thank you, John Orlando.
I will. Okay,
right.
perfect. That's
Follow
a deal.
John Orlando.
Follow.
Follow
him.
Yeah, but I'm
have to.
I'm obsessed with how.
Isn't TikTok the music one?
Yeah, but it's not just
doing
music
it.
anymore.
Okay, I
So,
thought
yeah,
it was just
so-
music, so
It's
I
not
was
that way
like,
now.
Like you
that's
would
why I
be
wouldn't.
murdering it. A dancing,
I know.
like it's a lot of dancing too.
Personal
Is it?
problems
Okay.
right now with the home that's taking up way too much of my attention.
Okay.
Oh.
Do you need to air it out right now?
No,
or what?
it's just when it rains it pours type of thing.
Yes.
And everything
She's
in my
got a
house
minor in
is-
psychology. I
No.
made that part up. I don't know. But
It's just when it rains it pours, everything in my house is falling apart. So my time
I
and
hate
energy
that.
right now is like to the house. So
do we
probably
burn the house,
maybe-
collect the insurance check?
Fuck it, let's do it. I think next month I'll be focusing on TikTok.
Burn it down.
I just can't right
Burn
now.
it to the ground.
We'll both start a TikTok.
Okay, I'll
right.
push you. You push me.
All right, we got
We'll,
it.
Verbally binding.
It is
do it.
verbally
Verbally
binding.
binding.
We got
we'll
it.
push each other.
With Ty as a witness.
With
All right.
Okay.
We'll push each other for
All
next
right.
month.
Yeah, you gotta get on. But yeah,
All right.
I'm fascinated by just the amount of opportunity that exists today that didn't exist
Oh, 100%.
10, 15, 20 years ago.
Yeah. Everyone's
it's
so
crazy.
accessible.
Like there used to be like someone had to say yes to you, right? Some
Right,
idiot in
yeah.
a suit. Like when I did, that's why I stopped acting.
Yeah.
'Cause I'm like, it's so stupid. Like I hate it. Like I
Not
did
anymore.
comedy for 10 years and I would go on like TV hosting auditions, like at E! Channel and stuff. And they'd be like, do you have a hosting reel? I'm like, no, I haven't done it. I'm a comedian. Oh, you have no experience, no reel. I'm like, did you just hear what I said? I'm used to getting in front of 2,000, 5,000, even 100,000 people and telling jokes for 20 minutes. You think I'm
Yeah.
worried about hosting your,
Yeah.
reading your teleprompter? You out of your mind? Like,
Yeah.
but you had to have someone go, yes.
Yeah.
Now, with Instagram, like, you make a
Yeah.
living from Instagram. Or you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yep.
that's amazing to me that you're able to do that. So, what do you, like, are you constantly trying to figure out, like, okay, how can I make more? How do I,
Oh, I think everybody does, constantly trying to reinvent yourself or seeing what works, what doesn't work. Yeah, I'm always trying to do new things and try new things and see what falls.
now, do you do, like, OnlyFans and Patreon and that stuff,
I
too?
do have a Patreon. I don't put a lot into it. I just kind of started it maybe about a year ago,
Yeah.
and it does have like loyal fans,
Right.
and it's people that have. My fan base in general is very loyal. Like I've been
Right.
modeling for probably like 17 years now.
Still don't know
and
how
like,
that's possible, but okay, you insist.
but it's like
All right.
I see the same repeat customers buying my merchandise, my calendars, going to my shows, that sort of thing. So it's like my fan base is probably about 50-50 women, 50
Wow,
and men.
that's
so
great.
it's not just one or the other. And I really try to focus on keeping it like that because I don't like to be disrespectful to either side. And I like when someone comes to my shows or they're looking at my pictures, I don't want to offend the wives or
Right.
upset anybody, and let alone my own husband.
Right,
So
right.
I
Is
definitely
that
try
part
to.
hard?
upsetting him on things.
He understands, I'm assuming.
He definitely understands what I do, but I mean, I still think, he's my husband, so he's very, like, oh, please don't do that.
Like, are there certain photos you post that he's like, seriously?
100%.
Really?
But I have definitely tamed everything down and toned it down a lot. But it's something I wanted to do anyway, because it's like, there's only so much that you can do that you want to show. Like, I'm not one of those girls that's like, you can find me naked anywhere. Right. You know what I mean? I'll definitely push the box and you'll see implied pictures, but you can't find pictures of me nude anywhere. And I'm very proud of that, because I wouldn't have been able to do the TV shows that I've done with having any of that. They do full background researches on you to see if you have anything like that.
Is it hard, or is it ever like a little conflicting inside for you? Because like, obviously, if you did show more, like on Patreon, whatever,
you make
the
more
money could be
But you know what?
Crazy.
It's something you can never take back again. Like once you show all that, you lose. You can't hide. You can't take it back and be like, oh no, I'm not showing anymore. Like you've already shown everybody, and so there's nothing left to the imagination.
Right.
So it's more about the tease, and I mean that's like burlesque. It's about the tease.
I love the burlesque tease. I'm not like full Monty. You're not going to see the whole thing.
No, not at all.
I don't care how much money you give me. It's just like
Same here.
It's a pride thing. It's like, I don't care. I don't need the money that desperately to show the goods.
100%.
You know what I mean?
And what about like haters? Do you get? I know you said you have loyal fans. Do you get a lot of hate, or
I don't
not
get
really?
as much as I have a lot of friends that just like get bombarded with hate, but I think it's because I'm pretty respectful to like everybody, and I think with having a family and a husband, kids and all that, I don't put myself out there as much of like being like, oh hey, like that sort of thing. Like I do have sexy images, but I think I carry myself a little different.
Yeah.
So I don't get the hate as much. I mean, I get people once in a blue moon that say like terrible stuff, but
and what about the kids? Do the kids have any trouble like at school? Because obviously, like, You know what? It really hasn't been an issue. I mean, I think my son once in a while is like, Mom. Right.
But
all
then,
the friends, like, all these sleepovers are at your place, I'm
stealing
sure, right?
my freaking merch.
The mom's like, you're not going over to her house.
But I haven't really had any issues with my kids. I've had them around the industry for so long, like since they were babies, they'd come on photo shoots with me and stuff. And my oldest daughter actually, she's the one doing behind the scenes pics. She actually does shoots with me now. I mean, has since she was a kid. All my kids have done photo shoots with David LaChapelle. So they've worked with some of the best photographers in the world.
They've been around,
yeah, they know, they get it. It really isn't an issue. I mean, they do, like when I'm on TV and stuff, sometimes the kids will, be like, oh, your mom, da 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 da, and say stuff, but it's not anything terrible, so.
Wow. Well, thank you so much for doing this.
Thanks
this
for having
really
me, guys. It's been fun.
I'm glad you answered when I slid into the DM.
Right.
And once again, get the calendar. Ty, you're going to put all of Sabina's links right here so they can get this calendar.
Thanks,
guys.
guys.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate it.
Can we come see you in February?
Yes, 100%. You have to. Yes.
Done.
Let's do it. February.
We'll see you guys next week.
Burlesque.